Hey, what's going on everyone? This is G and I'm funkin' hungry. In this video, we're going to try Hungry Jack's new summer range. Now for the summer range, they have a Fairy Floss Storm. So you can see that it has a bit of fairy floss at the top here. Not too bad. And they have a raspberry float, or didn't these used to be called spiders? I can't even remember. I know them as floats, you know them as spiders. Spiders know them as their arch nemesis. I don't know, Spider-Man. But yeah, like always, they had to give me like this cup where you can't see it. Great for doing reviews, this is. You can see it at the top. Basically, a float is ice cream with a soda, soft drink, fizzy drink, whatever you call it. So this is a pretty cool idea. Have to give a shout out to good old Jackers. They have a pretty good summer range menu this year. And lately Jackers have done some awesome storms. They've done the Biscoff one, they've done the bubblegum, and now they've got a Fairy Floss one. So let's start with the storm. We'll bust this open, have a look. Basically it's got this little crown of Fairy Floss, this cotton candy. You probably know it as different names in your country. But yeah, it's basically a ball of sugar. Seems to pull apart like cotton candy or fairy floss. Alright, let's give it a go, I guess. I haven't had this in probably 20 years. Cheers. Melts in your mouth. Has a strawberry flavour, sugary as all hell. Now it does solidify and go a little bit hard at the end. So it has a bit of chewiness, like now it's just gone down to nothing. After all the fluff's gone. Kids are gonna love this though. Now this has a fairy floss and it has a fairy floss syrup. But let's give a bit of taste with the fairy floss. Okay, so fairy floss tastes lovely, but I don't really like that slow chew at the end. You know, like you get this little bit of like, once it sort of melts down, you just get this sort of little hard little ball of sugar. Now it's not really my ideal dessert, but I know kids are going to absolutely love this. Like, look at this, a carnival summer sort of themed storm. How cool is that? I'm going to try some of the ice cream with this fairy floss syrup. That ice cream is super creamy, super delicious. The syrup sort of seems to disappear in it. Like it is giving the ice cream a bit of a flavour, but yeah, it sort of disappears as you try to put it on your spoon. Yeah, so it's sort of like a faint sort of sugary strawberry sort of flavour to it. Definitely different than the normal strawberry sundae. The strawberry one definitely tastes like just like proper strawberry. It has some strawberry pieces in it. This one is a little bit more sort of artificial, a little bit sort of like AI, you know, a little bit sort of fake. But it still has a lovely, delicious flavour. So my rating for Hungry Jack's Storm Fairy Floss flavour, I'm going to give that a good 6.5 out of 10. I feel like it's a really good item. It's not necessarily for me. It's still delicious though. Still a good flavour. I personally feel like, you know, I don't really need the fairy floss on top. I probably would order it personally without that. But yeah, this is super cool. The kids are going to love it. And Hungry Jacks have done a really good job with their summer range. And this is a cool, unique idea. So, you know, someone's coming up with some good ideas at Hungry Jacks. Now, the price of the Storm, I think they're about $4.50. I'll leave it on the screen just in case. But yeah, it is a little bit pricey. I feel like this, like having the fairy floss on top is saving some money. Because, you know, you're getting a little bit less ice cream. Fairy floss isn't going to be bugger all to make. So I'll give them a 5 out of 10 for value. Okay, so now we've got the raspberry float. So I'll bust the top off and we'll have a bit of a look. So yeah, it's gone a little bit weird now because it's been sitting for a while. Well, it's got ice in this. So yeah, it's a proper ice cold drink. I didn't know if they would put ice in it. So I guess it's like... The raspberry they got is Fanta, so I'm guessing it's raspberry Fanta. You can see a big lump of ice cream in here. But let's stick the straw in and give it a taste. Cheers. After having the Storm, this is totally different. Like really a lot more refreshing in a way because it's a drink with ice and I think it's a little bit awkward to eat though, because it's got ice in it. It's a drink. The ice cream isn't sort of mixing that well with it. Oh, the ice cream does taste nice though. I reckon they've actually put the soft serve in this. It's not like a vanilla shake. It is really refreshing though, and it does have a nice flavour. I feel like Coke would have suited it more, but the aesthetic is great. Like, you know, Fairy Floss Storm, which is pink, and Raspberry Float, which is pink. So, you know, it's got like obviously a nice little aesthetic, sort of matching the bubblegum Storm and Shake they had last time. Now they got this red pink sort of colour to it. Yeah, it definitely is cooling me down. Yeah, that's definitely Raspberry Fanta, but yeah, this is a pretty cool item. It's not something I'd probably get often, because when it's really hot, I don't like sort of ice cream and sticky stuff. A lot of people associate summer and with ice cream and that sort of stuff, but I prefer it when it's a little bit cooler. Doesn't melt, doesn't get sticky and go all over the place and leave you with sticky fingers and all that sort of stuff. Sorry, children. But yeah, it's a pretty lovely flavour. When you do get the ice cream in there, it does add this like really light creamy sort of flavour, and it really suits that sort of raspberry. It's a really cool combination. So my rating for Hungry Jack's Raspberry Float, I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10. I feel like this is definitely above average. It's a great idea. I love that raspberry with the little bit of cream. Raspberry and cream is a classic sort of taste. Anyway, the price of one of these, I got the large, so the large is $5.45, which is a little bit pricey, but these days you're paying about $6 for a decent sort of milkshake or float in this case. They probably did save some money by putting some syrup, some Fanta like soft drink in there, the syrup, and you know, but it is what it is. It's a nice little treat. I'll leave the prices on screen for a small, medium and large, just in case you're interested. And, you know, if you get a kid, they might just want a small. A large might be a bit too much for them. But yeah, my price rating, I'll give that a 4.5 out of 10. It's not too bad. I feel like it's a little bit below average when it comes to the price, but the flavour makes up for it. But I feel like it's a really cool idea to have Fairy Floss and a Raspberry Float. It's just very summery, and yeah, it just reminds me of like going to the circus or something like that. I don't know why. But let me know below if you've tried the Fairy Floss Storm or if you tried the Raspberry Float, because I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your opinions. Do you feel like a kid in a candy store sort of, you know, with these items? Because yeah, they've sort of put me in a good mood or hyped me up a bit. So I'd love to hear your opinions. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you could please like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. This is G from Phunken Hungry, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.